words he speaks are true. We're all humanary stew. If we don't pledge allegiance to the Black Widow. The horror that he'll bring, the horror of his sting, the unholiest of kings, the Black Widow.
Hello and welcome to the newest episode of the Spider's Parlor. I am the Spider, and we are going to continue the Alice Cooper Deviant Discography Collection reviews, entering the final 80s installment and Alice's major comeback album of that time period, Trash, with the mega hit single Poison. Trash was the follow-up to Raise Your Fist and Yell, which we concluded was my #1 favorite album of not just Alice Cooper, but of all time. And with Trash, we got Poison, which, like I said, was a huge hit. It was a top 10 single here in the United States. The album went in the top 20 in the U.S., and, it went platinum and all. It was a huge hit for Cooper. It was produced by Desmond Child, who had done Aerosmith and Bon Jovi records, and it gave Alice a very stylized sound, but it still had the Alice sexuality. It had the Alice sneer to it. It was very good. There isn't a bad song on this album. My personal favorites, besides Poison, are This Maniac's in Love with You, which I just think is just a very, very good song, and then Bed of Nails, which there was a video to go with. Spark in the Dark and House of Fire are great songs as well. They were performed live during the Trash tour, and in fact Alice broke House of Fire out at the tail end of the Psychodrama tour earlier this year, and that was a big surprise because he hasn't performed that in years, probably since back then. I'm Your Gun is just very funny. The title track is, the whole album is about sex. And, Alice says, I've taken Alice to nightmares, I've taken them to insane asylums, to hell. I think it's time to get Alice laid. And, so Trash was that result. It still holds up. Poison is always played in the show. In fact, during the Theater of Death, Poison has a new twist. It's played fairly early on in the tour, and a gigantic hypodermic needle during the end of the song is injected into Alice as one of his means of execution. But the album, it holds very, strong. Only My Heart Talkin', which has Aerosmith, Steven Tyler, performing in the background vocals. A lot of big names were tied to this album, including John Bon Jovi and Steven Tyler. But yeah, all in all, probably my favorite ballad on here is Hell Is Living Without You. It's very, very sweet, and it's very good. Alice's voice, his harmonics are just amazing, and that holds very true to on Trash. All in all, while Trash was the big hit album, its immediate follow-up, well, wasn't quite immediate, 2-year wait, was, in my opinion, the stronger of the two, but not as successful, and it's a shame. It was a success, it just wasn't as successful. But on a quick side note, today, September 29th, 2009, Alice Cooper released a new single, not tied into Along Came a Spider, his latest album. It was just a brand new original single called Keepin' Halloween Alive, and it's merely a way of Alice paying tribute to his, and of course my personal, favorite holiday of the year. It's available exclusively through iTunes. You've got to download this. It's a lot of fun. The chorus is, he has a clever little line where he goes, "I'm keeping Halloween alive, baby, 365." And then, little lines about, when the sun goes down, I'll be creeping in your town, and all this, it's very Alice. It's just, I highly recommend downloading that song if you can find it. But yes, if you do not have Trash, if you've never heard it, hunt it down. You know, there's a concert DVD called Alice Cooper Trashes the World. Get that. I can't recommend this album enough. But it does not make my top 5, actually. So far we know that my number 1 favorite album is Raise Your Fist and Yell. My number 2 is Killer. And then my number 4 is Welcome to My Nightmare. But number 3 and 5 are still to come. So we'll continue this as we dive into the first album of the 90s with 1991's Hey Stupid.